Welcome to the 2020 New Testament Challenge. Today we're in Mark chapter 2. Here in Mark chapter 2, a great crowd of people came to listen to Jesus. The house was full. There wasn't room to even get through the front door any longer. There were four men that were carrying someone on a mat, a friend, a paralytic. They were trying to get him to Jesus, but they couldn't get through the crowd. You know, sometimes people can keep someone from Jesus. I once heard of a woman that was in her car and she was at a traffic light. There was another car in front of her. When the light turned green, the car in front didn't move. She was in a hurry. She was angry. She started to honk. She started to wave her arms and shout and scream. Finally, that car in front of her started to move. She whipped around him in that intersection and she took off. Well, the police officer was watching the whole thing. He turned on his lights and pulled her over. He went up to her and he said, "Ma'am, I need your license, registration, and your keys." He took all three back to his car. A few minutes later, he came back, gave all three back to her, and he said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but when I was seeing how you were behaving, and I noticed that you had a fish symbol on your car, you had a bumper sticker that said, 'If you love Jesus, honk.' You even had one that said, 'Follow me to church.' When I was seeing how you were behaving and what was on your car, I just knew that car had to be stolen." Well, sometimes behavior can keep someone from Jesus. Well, those four men, they were not deterred. They were going to get their friend to Jesus. So they took a step of faith and they said, "Let's go up to the roof." They took a step of faith. Whenever we take steps of faith, four things are probably going to happen. The first is doubt. I'm imagining one of those four might have said, "Are you sure we're going to rip a hole through the roof? Are we really going to do this?" But they didn't stop. They had to get their friend to Jesus. Whenever we take a step of faith, there might be opposition. Maybe the owner of the house, when he saw things falling down, he started to yell and scream, "Stop, what are you doing? Don't do that." But they would not quit. Then there's also criticism. I'm sure someone in the crowd was starting to say, "This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It makes no sense whatsoever." But they wouldn't stop. And there's probably laughter going on as well. They couldn't believe their eyes and they were laughing. Well, when Jesus saw their faith, a miracle took place. Whenever we take a step of faith, those four things are going to happen to us as well. Doubt will come in, opposition, criticism, even laughter might take place. But the challenge is not to fear and not to quit when you're walking by faith. If you need to get to Jesus, may I encourage you to dig deeper in prayer, to dig deeper into the scripture, dig through doubt and dig through fear. Don't let fear stop you when you're walking by faith. Believe. Thank you for joining the 2020 New Testament Challenge.